Well, for the first 10 games of the 2012 season, it appeared as though Greg Schiano had totally changed the culture in Tampa. Keep in mind, this was a team that lost their final 10 games in 2011. Many people thought they had laid down on then-coach Raheem Morris. Enter Schiano, the longtime collegiate coach at Rutgers, and his my way or the highway type attitude. First thing he did was run off a couple of guys who were talented but perceived attitude problems. I'm talking about Kellen Winslow and Brian Price. A lot of people weren't sure if Schiano's style was going to work in the NFL, but it appeared to work, at least at first. The Bucs won 6 of their first 10 games. They were an exciting team, a good offense, a playoff contender, and then the wheels fell off. 5 straight losses. They lost 5 of their final 6 games to finish the year with a 7-9 record. So while there definitely were some positives to take away from last season, like all 7-9 teams, the negatives outweighed the positives. And when we talk about the negatives, we've got to start with that defense, specifically the secondary. The Bucs had the worst secondary, the worst pass defense in the NFL in 2012. It's just tough to win games when you allow 297 pass yards per game, which they did. Now, GM Mark Dominick has already taken steps to address that this offseason, most notably signing safety Deshaun Goldson, the free agent who played last year with the San Francisco 49ers and was named first-team All-Pro. Goldson was given a 5-year, $41 million deal, so a significant investment in Deshaun Goldson. Mark Dominick is obviously hoping that Goldson will combine with safety Mark Barron, who was a rookie last year, to form one of the better safety duos in the NFL for years to come. Now, I'm not sure Dominick is finished with his renovation of this secondary. The Bucs have been mentioned as potential suitors for big-name cornerbacks Darrelle Revis and Brent Grimes. At the time of this recording, nothing had been done with either one of those guys. That doesn't mean that something will not get done in the coming days and weeks. If this secondary is improved, the Bucs could be legitimate contenders next season because they were good in the front 7 last year on defense, and they had a good offense. 9th in the NFL in total offense. Without a doubt, the brightest spot of the offense, maybe the brightest spot of the entire team last year, was rookie running back Doug Martin. This guy was a revelation, rushed for nearly 1,500 yards, 3rd in the NFL in total yards from scrimmage. He'll be a fixture in that Tampa backfield for years to come. And the Bucs also got a lot out of their wide receivers. Last year's big free agent acquisition, Vincent Jackson, had a nice year, made some plays downfield, and also attracted some attention, allowed Mike Williams to slide over to that number 2 wide receiver role where he thrived. Mark Dominick just signed a few days ago Kevin Ogletree, the free agent wide receiver from Dallas, who was Dallas' slot wide receiver last year and was very productive in that role. Tom Crabtree, the Green Bay tight end and special teamer, has also been signed. So the Bucs have spent a lot of money on this offense over the last few years, signing Vincent Jackson, spending a lot of money on that offensive line last year. Doug Martin, obviously, they got through the draft. A couple of free agent signees this offseason. The excuses are running out for Josh Freeman. They need better play from Freeman. 3 years ago, Freeman was considered a future cornerstone of this franchise. He had a bad year in 2011, had a good start to the 2012 season, but his play really tailed off as the year went along. In his final 7 games, Josh Freeman only completed 53% of his passes, 9 touchdowns compared to 12 interceptions. As we said, the Bucs have done a good job surrounding him with weapons. Doug Martin, that wide receiving core, high-priced offensive line. It is time for Josh Freeman to produce. If he does not improve significantly next season, I think next season might be his last season as starting quarterback of the Tampa Bay Bucs. But if Freeman does improve, and if they get better play from that secondary, and as we said, with Deshaun Goldson in the fold and the potential of them signing a guy like Darrelle Revis or Brent Grimes, you would think they would improve from the worst secondary in the league. I mean, it could be exciting times for the Tampa Bay Bucs. I know they play in a tough division, the NFC South, but through 10 games last year, the Bucs looked just about as good as any of those teams. I know the Atlanta Falcons have had a better record, but the Bucs played the Falcons really tough, as they do generally all their division opponents. I think things are looking up for this team in the future. Again, if they shore up that secondary, which they might have done already, if they get a little bit better play from the quarterback position, the Bucs could be serious contenders in 2013.